With a dating history that includes almost every male rap star in the rap industry, a reputation for fueling her OnlyFans account with fans who believe she's into the rap game, along with a lot of leaks flying around the web. Many people believe Rubi Rose has such a questionable rise to fame story, and some have been able to find the details of exactly how Rubi Rose skyrocketed to fame. Rubi Rose exposed. How did Rubi Rose get so famous? Some say the honest answer is manipulation. Yeah, she has done many things just to gain traction in the past years, but get this, there's a whole saga going on with Rubi Rose that's got people debating whether she's the master manipulator or just a pawn in the game of fame. Where do I start? First, let's quickly review her progress since she allegedly became famous in the rap game. Rubi Rose is the most popular topic swirling around social media these days, and it started with a Twitter post where she texted, "I ran into my #1 spender on OnlyFans." Yeah, you heard me right. And don't get me started on this so-called #1 fan of hers. I mean, if you take a good look at his t-shirt that says, "If I die, delete my browser history," I think it's pretty obvious that he'd be her #1 spender. What's even more is that this dude has spent about $62,000 on her content, but that's not the most surprising part, as dark as this topic goes. There are actually a lot of people out there who would spend at least $20,000 or at most $45,000 a month just for OnlyFans. But what makes Rubi's #1 fan the craziest is that he spent all that money in just a month. As if he was not heard enough, this guy goes full-on love struck and tattoos Rubi's face on his calf. You'd think that's commitment, but there's more. This was accompanied by a long chat between this guy and Rubi, with no responses whatsoever from Rubi. I mean, what was she expecting when she posted her #1 fan on the internet? And what do we expect from a guy who's willing to spend $62K in 1 month for explicit content? Now, people are divided. Some say Rubi's playing a dangerous game, while others are like, hey, if he's willing to throw his money away, why stop him? I think it's safe to say that Rubi was wrong to do all that in the first place. A few weeks before this whole charade, she dropped a song called Cherry that had only 30K streams at that time. It's obvious she or the song wasn't doing so well, but for someone who had just gotten 200 million mentions, that's quite a shock. Could the Twitter post have been a small tactic to get her back in everyone's tab, or am I just imagining things? Well, it could be, cause if you look at it, Rubi is only in a couple of music videos, and it's been a while since she posted videos on the net, writing off as a video vixen. She's merely just a public figure at the moment because not much is happening in her life. Rubi Rose has barely done anything in the past 2 years that could qualify her as an official character in the rap game. And if you're going to mention her performance at Rolling Loud, then I need to remind you that the screen had just her OF link on it. Now, this pretty much proves my point that she doesn't care about rap music or any of this, but her OF account. And don't even mention her hit song, Big Mouth, because it's been stuck at 22 million hits since its release 5 years ago. Any random TikTok video could get that much attention. Okay, maybe it's not random, but you've seen it for yourselves. However, the internet seems to have a different perspective about who Rubi really is. How, you ask? Well, first of all, Rubi Rose was believed to have first gained attention from her appearance in Migos' music video for a single, Bad and Boujee. However, her musical career kicked off somewhere around September 2018 with a remix of On Top by Playboi Carti. Then somewhere in 2019, she released a single, Big Mouth, which surprisingly gave her the recognition she needed. That same year, she was signed by A&R Christ Turner to L.A. Reid's record label Hitco Entertainment. She did not release any more songs or even make any appearance until much later in August 2020, when she finally resurfaced in American rapper Cardi B's music video for her single WAP. Then finally, when we thought Rubi was back on track in December that same year, she dropped a literal bombshell featuring stars like Future and Party Next Door. But guess what? The mixtape got really bad reviews and plummeted the charts. Meanwhile, Big Mouth was still hitting streams and getting a lot of attention, leading to Rubi being selected for the 2021 XXL annual freshman list. Later, in 2023, she signed with Josh Marshall's label, Mogul Vision, which operates as part of Interscope Records. She's been on a hiatus since after that, and you probably don't know, but in October of that same year, Rubi released a single titled Hood Aesthetic, and it's not doing very well at the moment. Not to hate, but what point am I trying to make? Well, personally, I think Rubi Rose should just quit music and focus on what she's really good at. She doesn't care about rap. It's both annoying and quite a shame because Rubi Rose is, or was, leveraging the rap industry just to promote her real career, which is OnlyFans. After all, it's where all her money comes from. You'd expect that she's making money from music, but no. We'll talk about that in a second. But let's just establish the fact that after revealing herself to her #1 fan, she's also leveraging her safety. The guy has her number, right? But I guess she can deal with it. Also, do you ever wonder why Rubi Rose is not succeeding like other female rappers, say Ice Spice or Coi Leray? We all know it has nothing to do with appearance because Rubi is a beauty. Is it the fact she's using her rap career to promote her OnlyFans? Not that there's any career to promote anything. Her songs are not exactly breaking any records. With tracks barely scraping the bottom of the charts, it's like she's trying to climb Everest with a pair of flip-flops. flip-flops. I personally think it's because she is putting more energy into the OnlyFans than she is in her music, but you're welcome to leave your opinions in the comment sections. Alleged sex tape leak and hoax revelations. Remember when I said Rubi Rose isn't making any money from the music industry? Yeah, so I said that because it's been revealed that she makes more money on OnlyFans than she would have ever dreamed of in the rap industry. But before we get into that, how did Rubi get roped up into this lifestyle? That's where Rubi's ex, DDG, comes into the picture. Rubi was present in Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast in January 2024, where she told everyone that it was DDG that motivated her to create an OnlyFans account, and her bank account can testify to that. According to Rubi, DDG started doing the OnlyFans during the pandemic, and then he convinced her to give it a try as well. She even goes ahead to claim that she had been twerking for free on Instagram before she decided that DDG's suggestion was an even better idea.
Yeah, I was on Instagram twerking for free, and then I realized my ex actually told me to do it because I was like scared to do it.
So she took the dive, kissed college goodbye, and moved to LA. Since then, things have been on the up and up for Rubi. She even bought a couple of houses, some cars for herself and her friends, and her family. In fact, she has been all about that thrifty life. Back then, in 2020, Rubi racked up $100,000 on OnlyFans in just 2 days by posting the photos that were already on her Instagram account. She started by inviting her followers to subscribe to her OnlyFans, which led to about $22,000 the following day. Then she went ahead and posted a screenshot of her OF account, which showed that after just 2 days, Rubi was one of the top 0.32% creators with a pending balance of $106,784. She now charges her fans $49.49 every month just to see explicit content about herself. Now, there's a bit of a problem. We all know that OnlyFans is an online platform for creators to monetize exclusive content. This means that it can be used by just about anyone, but these days, it's become known to be used by workers who share nudes and pornography. Now, Rubi has been dragged a few times for posting images that are already on her Instagram account and still charging her fans for it. And Rubi clapped back, saying, OnlyFans isn't just for and that's what y'all made it out to be. Just like how PPL thought Snapchat was for sending nudes. You can post whatever exclusive content you want for your fans to see. This completely contradicts the part in the Impulsive podcast where she said, I don't want to be known as an OnlyFans worker. Please, guys, that's what makes the most money, my OnlyFans. What is going on? If I'm not misunderstanding her message, she just admitted what she does with her OnlyFans account and doesn't want to be perceived only as that. But you know what's worse than making people subscribe so you can send them explicit content? It's when those explicit contents get out to many others who didn't bother paying. Yes, that's right. Rumors have been circulating about an alleged tape leak and explicit pictures of Rubi Rose. Daily Loud had posted on X about Rubi's leak being all over the internet, with speculations that someone from her close friends must have done it. Recently, many streamers have had their videos leaked, and some have even been hit with AI trends. Bobby Altoff, for instance, has AI videos of herself making the rounds on the internet. So whether Rubi Roses are genuine or just some AI mischief, well, that's $1 million question because nothing is straightforward with Rubi anymore. Earlier, we talked about Rubi posting herself with #1 spender on OF, and I want to say how sad it turned out to be, as Rubi exposed a 20-second screen share video with him getting upset for no responses from Rubi and constantly confessing his love for her. A post from Rubi also revealed that she had replied to the DMs by requesting for a tattoo to prove his love is real, leading to the tattoo of Rubi's face on his calf. To make things worse, Rubi also saved the man's name in her phone as Brandon Weird OF fan. She clearly did this poor guy dirty. And the main question would be, why would she do that if she was so excited about bumping into her #1 spender? Well, it's a good thing we can hear from Brandon himself. Apparently, the alleged top OnlyFans subscriber has been voicing out that the whole $60K situation involving the rapper was a ruse to promote her account. This happened during an interview with Adam22 and the man in question, whom Rubi Rose claims to be her #1 spender.
I didn't know what the was going on, so they made it look like I was her top spender, you know?
The infamous fan revealed that he never purchased any of Rubi's OF content and that the $60,000 account actually belonged to someone else and not him. According to Mr. No Jumper, he was contacted by Rubi's team and paid for staging the whole thing. However, Rubi and her team blew things out of proportion and started to make him look like a bad person. He says he only took a picture with Rubi Rose and got paid for it, and the next day, he sees himself as an OnlyFans top spender. Now that's wild.
I didn't purchase none of her OnlyFans content.
He said he only took a picture with Rubi Rose, got paid for it, and he had no idea what it was for. Imagine taking a picture with a rising star today and the next day, you're the rising star, but for all the wrong reasons. And about the tattoo, he claimed he agreed to get Rubi's name tattooed on him, but decided to go extra with the portrait on his calf, which is very real.
When I got the tattoo, they asked me how much I wanted for, like, her people, her team, or whatever asked me, what do I think's a good price for the tattoo? Now, I was like saying 15 to 20K, you know?
He as well claimed that the stalker-like messages that Rubi posted were also fake. He says he woke up to see the posts and read through just a few things, and he just had to turn off his device because whatever was happening really messed with his head.
I didn't even like read it. Like I seen some of it and it seemed like it was really bad, so I like just turned my phone off. That kind of like made me go crazy for a few days.
He also made it clear that he's not the guy from that True Life episode about a man addicted to porn. Some folks on social media thought there was a resemblance, and that's how it blew up. So who do we believe now? Rubi Rose has been a fraud all this time, or was her biggest fan suddenly too ashamed to accept that he was a real loser getting obsessed over Rubi Rose? Speaking of obsession, I think Rubi Rose has that kind of effect on men, given her scandalous dating history with, well, almost all the men in the rap industry, which is what we'll be talking about in the next section. The scandalous affairs of Rubi Rose. Rubi Rose might just be the queen of the streets. Everyone knows Rubi dated and had her ups and downs with fellow rapper DDG. But don't get me started on all the men she's been with before and after she and DDG broke up. It's not wrong to suspect that Rubi Rose was looking for every means possible to be recognized in the industry and keep her name at the tip of everyone's tongue, because that's either what it looks like, or it's that Rubi's always been destined to start an OF. Hence why she would treasure her OF more than her career. People might forget, but the internet never does. Rubi dated her fellow rapper DDG from 2020 to 2021. He's popularly known for his single Moonwalking in Calabasas. DDG and Rubi were all about the lovey-dovey stuff all over the net until the sudden breakup. Apparently, in February 2021, just a few days before Valentine's Day, DDG went and announced to the public that he was single. It came as a shock to everyone who has been seeing their couple's posts. In DDG's words, he said, "I'm officially single. I do not have a Valentine. I know I was just with Shorty last night. Found out some this morning that just made me realize that I don't need to be in a relationship." And that was it for the iconic couple. However, before she dated DDG, she also had a thing for an athlete, Cameron Gerald Cam Newton, a popular and very handsome footballer. While it's not clear how Cam and Rubi first crossed paths, we do know that the relationship lasted only 5 months, and Rubi did not hesitate to hop on the next moving train. However, before that, it turns out that Rubi actually had a thing for Lil TJ from 2016 up until 2017. Back in the day, their relationship was the talk of the town because they'd flaunt each other on Instagram and Snapchat. But just a few weeks after flooding social media with their lovey-dovey posts, Rubi Rose apparently dialed up the cops on Lil TJ's doorstep. If you're curious about the drama, here's the scoop. It all boiled down to a squabble over cash and a tug of war about who footed the bill for Rubi's ride back after Lil TJ's bash. It actually turned out to be that Lil TJ refused to pay for her flight after she hooked up and flew all the way from her home to celebrate his birthday with him. In an interview with The Breakfast Club, he told the story as it is without mentioning her name.
We just had a little miscommunication. She flew in to see me, seen some girls on my phone, got mad, overreacted.
In my opinion, the story didn't sound too serious to get the cops involved because the argument could have been avoided or managed, but they soon became the headlines in every media outlet. And well, it's obvious the relationship did not have a fairy tale ending. Now, a lot of you know the rapper Takeoff, the leading singer for the rap group Migos, who passed away last year. Yeah, sources have it that he was also linked to Rubi Rose in 2016, but the relationship did not last long. Rumors say Rubi and Takeoff were a thing briefly, but it wasn't anything serious. They weren't close when he passed away, but they did have some good moments together. At this point, it's getting difficult to keep up with all the men that Rubi has been linked with, but it's not entirely possible to continue. It's no surprise anymore. But that same year, Rubi was said to be frolicking around with Soulja Boy as well. It was just another short-term relationship, even though some reports claim that it lasted for over a month. Meanwhile, other sources claim that they only hooked up for a while. Rewind a little bit to 2015, and you'll see that Rubi Rose and Ian Connor were all over social media. And what's even more shocking is that Rubi was just 15 years old back then. However, there are plenty of photos of them having fun and intimate moments. Even though Rubi and Ian didn't say anything about it, their romance was about 7 years ago, but it's still hard for people to forget about their relationship. If you were surprised that she dated Connor, then you'd be even more surprised to find out that she also dated another rapper, 21 Savage, back in 2015. This relationship actually came into the light before rumors about her and Connor came out. Rubi had an interview where she admitted she did date the rapper when she was younger. Rubi just confessed to it in 2019, but folks had already caught wind of their brief fling from 2015. Well, can't really blame her, can we? It's obviously very hard to resist all that. Rubi might still be young, but for her age, she's had way too much experience dating guys who are above her age. During an interview with No Jumper, she also opened up about her relationship with Playboy Cardi.
No, it was cool. Like, we were still friends then. Like, he would always try and flirt with me, but I wasn't feeling him then yet. Like, it wasn't until like a year into our friendship when we started getting freaky.
Sadly, most of the things she recounted about the guy weren't exactly pleasant. She just went ahead and acknowledged the fact that she was green back then and could take away valuable lessons from the experience. Another rapper with whom she's had a thing is Travis Scott. They had a thing from 2014 to 2015, which Rubi did not deny. It was actually her first and most famous relationship while she was still young and looking to pursue her career in music and modeling. It also turned out to be a bad experience for her, which I take that she did not learn from and still got herself into the same mess with Playboy Cardi. Now, very recently, in 2023, and after her last relationship, which was with DDG, rumors about Rubi and 39-year-old Moroccan-American rapper French Montana has been circulating. This started after both were spotted at a dinner date in March 2023. The pair were photographed smiling from ear to ear as they arrived at Mr. Chow in Beverly Hills, California. The source, TMZ, claimed that someone close to the couple had confirmed that Rubi was Montana's new girlfriend. It happened really fast, and the next thing we know, they're suddenly not together anymore. Instead, on May 6, 2024, Rubi surprised us all by confirming that she is now in a relationship with 29-year-old actor and comedian Drewski. Actually, romance rumors between the couple started when Drewski posted an Instagram photo with Rubi on April 21, 2024. But then confirmation was made after Rubi posted a video of themselves cuddling and kissing on X. So what's the moral of the story? Well, if you're gonna make a scene, might as well make it worth it, right? And if Rubi's taught us anything, it's that she sure knows how to keep us entertained. Whether it's through scandalous tweets, OnlyFans, or having multiple exes, she's got the whole world watching. Enjoyed the video? Crave more excitement? Stay tuned by clicking on any of the cards on your screen right now for more thrilling content. See you next time.